A little bit about maybe approaching 5 p.m. in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm Dr. Kemi Omololunaya, and it's Saturday, the 23rd of May, 2020. I want to talk about pharmacy and how it really relates to COVID-19. First of all, I always have to introduce myself. I am a retired clinical and retail community and consultant pharmacist in the United States, meaning that I practice in those areas: retail, drugstore, community, drugstore, and community health education, clinical, hospital, and consultant, anyone that needs me for certain things. Well, I'm also a broadcast journalist and also a public relations specialist. I have a degree in PR, a certificate in public relations. All three are first-class U.S. degrees. I got them from America, Maryland, USA, and Philadelphia. Well, I attended the oldest pharmacy school in North America, the Philadelphia College of Pharmacy and Science, and now it's called University of Sciences, Philadelphia, and I did an external PharmD. Well, at the end of the day, guys, 30 years of pharmacy, there's so much happening in pharmacy now that I'm very disappointed at Nigerian pharmacists. Many Nigerian pharmacists are not talking. I go into the Health Plus, Med Plus, the different drugstores, the independents, the Salem pharmacies, and every pharmacy out there. And pharmacists in Nigeria are telling me the same thing. We're gagged. We cannot speak out to the media. We cannot speak out on our own platforms because it'll look as if we're talking on behalf of the company. Now, those are PR issues, okay? You're not talking on behalf of the company. Once you lock that drugstore and go home to your house and discuss on what's up with your friends, you're talking for yourself. Pharmacists are not vocal. Well, nobody's vocal in Nigeria because everybody's in fear. I've been locked up 3 times in this country because the pastor said I defamed it. Something I wrote, which I didn't even write. Let's go back to that, but let's go into pharmacy because this segment here is about what's going on with COVID-19. Pharmacists are very important in this fight. They are frontline, workers, but we don't see it as frontline because, we don't think we're in the frontline. We are. A hospital pharmacy technically is a frontline person, a hospital pharmacist. Now, I worked at Johns Hopkins Hospital in the inpatient and outpatient. I was actually director of one of the satellite pharmacies in East Baltimore. So I worked, in one of the biggest and most prestigious hospitals in America in the 90s. I always tell Nigerians that they don't know anything about me. You just see Kemi Olunloyo, you don't know what I've achieved in that 30 years. It's a little hot here. Sporadic power failure in Nigeria. Well, let me go to the point. I'm going back to pharmacy school. I'm going to take you through pharmacognosy, pharmacotherapeutics, and pharmaceutics. Let's do that again. Pharmacognosy, the study of every drug from their herbal and plant root. Pharmaceutics, the study of how drugs work, how they're made. Pharmacotherapeutics, how the drug behaves when it enters the bloodstream. Okay, if I take an aspirin now, put it in my mouth, swallow it with some water, it's going to enter my esophagus and go down. Okay, once it enters the bloodstream here, after it's swallowed in the esophagus, the minute it enters this area, the stomach is going to release its acids. The liver's there, the kidney's there. Everybody's waiting for that pill. Okay, the liver's telling the kidney, yo, pill, what are you here for? I mean, I'm out here doing my thing, but the pills and the organs are talking. And the pill is going to say, my master has a headache. Okay? So why ain't you in the brain? That's what the liver and the kidney are going to be saying. You got to go up there first. And then the pill's going to say, my master's feeling better, but I have to pass through you guys because you guys have to filter. Okay, the liver has to process some drugs and the kidneys also have to process some drugs. Most drugs are excreted by the liver or kidney, mostly by the kidneys. So the pill is moving around the bloodstream. That's pharmacotherapeutics. Okay, how drugs work. I graduated 31 years ago, and I still remember these things. I graduated first class. I was the second highest score in the state of Maryland in the Board of Pharmacy exam, NABP, National Association of the Boards of Pharmacy. Guys, I got one question wrong, okay? My son is going to school in America, to the School of Arts in November 2021, and he said we're going together. So more than likely, I want to relocate back to the States next year. I want to work at the Food and Drug Administration or the NIH, National Institute of Health. But you know what that entails, right? You can't work for those government agencies unless you're a U.S. citizen, meaning that I'm going to give up the green card forever. I'm going to swear allegiance to the U.S. I have been here. Nigeria has not used one single talent I've had. They have not hired me at NAFDAC, Ministry of Health. My father said I'm too transparent. I don't need all that bullshit. Okay, I'm going to where they need me. That's just it is. I lived there 35 years in North America. Coming back here was supposed to improve Nigeria, but it seemed to be a mistake. All right? At the end of the day, let's go back to pharmacotherapeutics. That is how drugs communicate with the system. Okay? What are you doing here? Somebody has cancer. My master has cancer. So go to the side where the cancer is and start treating shit. That is pharmacotherapeutics. Pharmacognosy is very important right now with coronavirus because everybody's saying, oh, I made this oil, it can cure coronavirus. I made this drink in Madagascar. You drink it, you're cured. As soon as the Madagascar drink gets hyped up, President of Nigeria ordered it. Everybody's ordering for millions and millions and millions of dollars and euros. 2 people die in Madagascar. Why? The drink didn't get to them, or they can't afford the drink. They need to explain this stuff. Any herbal concoctions, okay, the study of these herbal concoctions is pharmacognosy. Okay, so NAFDAC or regulating agencies have to go through what they are. 3 patients, the placebo, the patient, and the one that's been treated. In other words, I am a placebo. I don't have coronavirus. I've taken the test. I'm negative. I'm fine. My immune system is super boosted. I take a multivitamin every day and vitamin C. And I eat a lot of things that are immune system foods. Wait till you see some of the stuff I'm eating. I have Herbal here with okra, something I don't even eat. Okra with garlic, ginger, and garden egg on top of the Herbal. I'm going to eat all this stuff together. And this is why I'm looking fresh. I'm going to be 56 in 2 months. So at the end of the day, guys, immune system boosting is very important. So now in pharmacognosy, you have to know the herbal roots of what you're going to. Other drugs all become pharmaceuticals later down the road. But there's some people who don't like pharmaceuticals. Those are things made chemicals, in the factory, chemicals added in fillers and all that. Your tablets, your creams and all that. Some people just like natural stuff. That's what they call nutraceuticals, okay? Pharmaceuticals, nutraceuticals. What did I say? Pharmaceuticals and nutraceuticals. Nutraceuticals are from herbal roots. So if you go into a GNC or one of those nature cure or, herbal stores, you'll see a lot of stuff that came from nature there. Who's to say they don't work? They work very well. Sometimes they work better than the pharmaceuticals. Look at prostate cancer. My father suffers that. The drugs they made in the pharmacy for prostate cancer sometimes have side effects. So now they go to Brazil and they come out with this liquid thing that you drink and the cancer is gone. Right from the Amazon, and the Amazon is the forest that produces almost half of the world's oxygen and a lot of drugs we use. The Amazon is money. What happened last year to the Amazon? Climate change, it burned down. Me, personally, I don't think the climate change and the heat burned down the Amazon and that Australia wild forest. I think human beings did it. Arson. That's my opinion, please. So, any concoction now has to be tested on me. Okay, the placebo. Somebody that had coronavirus and has been treated, Dr. C, and also somebody who has coronavirus right now. So all 3 of us are tested with a drink, with everything, before we know how it behaves. Now, am I going to be a placebo? I don't know. Everybody's different. On a regular basis without a pandemic, people that test for placebo, they pay them money in America. You get paid $2,000, $3,000 to be tested like a guinea pig, okay? Guinea pigs are rare. They're not even around anymore. Well, they're around, but, mice, there's nothing called a lab mice today. Lab mice don't want to be tested. Mice are busy. They don't have time to be in some lab being tested. Mice are busy with Lassa fever. They're in your kitchen right there in the kitchen, inside your Gary at night, eating it and giving you Lassa fever because by the time you make Herbal from it, you're dead. Yeah, for real. Mice are busy. Okay, New York, go to the subway. Mice are under the trains up there. Nigeria, they're all over the food and the food stuff and all that. They don't have time to be in any lab. I'm telling you these things. I'm putting a little bit of comedy and sarcasm into this stuff. So human beings have to be tested for what human beings are going to use. That's just the way it works. Okay? So that's pharmacognosy, pharmacotherapeutics, how the drugs work inside your system. Pharmaceutics, the whole process of making that drug and everything. I can make a pill, I can make a suppository, I can make everything. Just put me in the right place in the lab. So Nigerian pharmaceutical companies should come together and really look at how we're going to start using drugs properly. Okay, yeah, I started this thing at COVID, but telling you the truth, the biggest supplier of fake drugs in Nigeria. I don't think a Nigerian has to buy a drug and be scratching a scratch card. It's crap. They don't do that in America. The biggest supplier of fake drugs to Nigeria is India. And I think NAFDAC needs to open their eyes. Professor Mrs. Moji Adeyeye, you need to open your eyes and focus on India. Okay, Dora Akunyili did not do well in that area. She allowed the Indians to come in. Everybody brought their fake drugs left and right. So if you want to know where Dora's 900 trophies came from, it's from lobbyists. Open your eyes, Nigerians. Dora was given bribes to get favors from NAFDAC. We caught them after her death. Dr. Paul Arhe was doing the same thing. Instead of Paul taking money from companies, he was taking airline tickets. Okay, give me first class ticket to London for me and my family. He was taking bribes everywhere. Just go read NAFDAC. Under the controversies, everything is there. You guys don't read enough. You need to research your country. Okay? Okay, Akunyili was giving people favors, and even if she didn't ask for them, they'll give her a trophy and call her the best this, best that. That's why she was standing in front of 900 trophies. There was so much lobbying in Obasanjo's administration. And that's the whole thing. Oh, yeah, and the rumor. My dad said Akunyili, slept with Obasanjo all the time. They were all in that government. My dad said it, and he told me. So if you think I just wrote it for the heck of it, And my dad said she was asked to doctor that Pfizer report. Remember Pfizer? When they brought Trovan to northern Nigeria? Pfizer came to test Trovan on Hausa kids who had an outbreak of meningococcal meningitis. Okay, let's test them. We were the subjects there. Our babies were injected with Trovan. All of them are now teenagers all over your streets in Nigeria crawling. You know those Hausa boys with no legs and a polio? That's what happened. A polio epidemic. And all our babies are paralyzed. It was a long drawn lawsuit. We got $75 million as a settlement from Pfizer. Jimmy Carter, the president of the United States at one time, and Yakubu Gowon, another leader of Nigeria, they were in the brokering final phase of it. Guys, all the medical records of the kids in Kano destroyed. It was missing. Nobody knew where they are. And then the money came. They gave $10 million to the state, Kano State. The governor in that, I'm going to find out who that governor was at that time. But the state got 10 million. The 65 million, nobody knows what happened to it. It vanished right into the federal hands. And you're telling me I'm not doing my work. I am. Let me tell you, this is the reason why I'm not at NAFDAC. Kemi Omololu, lawyer, continue listening to me because I'm going to solve the problem of Nigeria before 2023. Okay? I'm the godmother of this country. Thanks for listening.